Welcome back to the channel, baby.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? We're here today with
That is one of my all-time favorite toys, and it probably costs $1.
$5.
But
It was 5. I got it for you for Christmas.
it's fantastic.
Okay, so we are Susu, Boo Boo, Buster, and the
And
Wolf
Wolfman.
Man. Buster, sit up.
Boo Boo's still out inside. He
Sit.
didn't want to come out. We had some terrible storms this morning, and I think they're starting to pass a little bit. But
Buster's right here.
yes.
Anyway, we're so glad to be back.
Yes.
Yay! Should I do a dance?
No. Yes.
I
you
can't
can
help
do-
it.
you can-
I gotta dance.
I'm sorry.
Because
It's
we're
a
going to be
medicine
doing
thing.
something else off human nature. We're doing pan. Everybody likes pan, right? Okay, I think I'm good now.
They'll be sending in different medications for you to take all throughout this thing.
I like to dance sometimes, Daddy.
And yes, and I like when you dance. So
Especially, no, you don't. Especially when I'm excited about Nightwish. So we're happy to see you, and we're going to go ahead and get started.
yeah. So
I'm
we're
so excited.
doing
Can't wait. Can't
we're
wait.
doing Nightwish Pan
Yeah.
on the next one on the album Human Nature.
Is it about pancakes?
I think it is.
Oh, I love pancakes.
I love pancakes too.
We haven't had any in a while.
It's time, isn't
Mm-hmm.
it? Okay. Here we go. Sorry to pause this right at the beginning. Can someone tell me what this rune is? Is this a Nightwish, just Nightwish only rune, or does it mean something other than that?
I think it means something. We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I'd
Okay.
like to know. Sorry. Let me back it up just a little bit here.
Once there was a silent canvas, sleeped in stories, unimagined, birth of motives, hope and wonder. Winds will be named, words will shelter them. Something wicked, there we came, showed our way to the great escape. Evoke the words, spark the brain, with Ethan all before a door. To labyrinth, to keystone earth, to fallen stars, the there and back. We are the righteous of another way.
Well,
I am a fan of Pan.
it's a great song. Again, we say this after just about every Nightwish video. They're so deep and there's so much to go into that I don't know that we can, one watching, right? I don't know that we could do it justice, but there are little nuggets you can take out of it, right? And one of the things that it kept saying, pale blue marble will be the earth, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then, so there, it talks about standing for a door, like they're chimps or they're apes. They're standing for a door and they have no idea what it is. That reminds me of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't even know if you've seen that Space Odyssey. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but there's a scene very much like that. And
I think they grabbed things, Thomas grabbed things from everywhere. It was about Pan, but there were so many other things introduced, like there was a reference to Tolkien.
yeah,
I felt some type of Disney type thing with the apple and the glass and the this and that.
yeah.
Just kind of fantasy and but the music, man, the drums were really prominent, weren't they?
Yes, yeah, and I think that adds to a sense of chaos, right? And when we looked a little bit about Pan, I'd heard of Pan, of course, before, and I think most people have that have studied any kind of Roman mythology or Greek mythology, rather. So Pan is basically the god of mischief, right? He has in my opinion, he has the appearance of almost a demonic figure because of the horns and the goat hooves, which I,
Doesn't sound inviting and sweet.
well, it takes its meaning a lot from the occult, right? But then there's also a very playful side to the song as well. And so we'll listen to it again. And if you've got any comments on what you think about it, I thought it was fantastic. And I love the drum intro.
Yeah, and that's why I kept closing my eyes. I was listening for what's coming next because they go through so many different stages in their songs, and there's just so much music. I don't know how to explain it, but I used to listen to a song and be, oh yeah, I like that, I'll sing along with it. But now I listen to the instruments more and separate them out in my mind and see what they're doing together. And again, recognize a genius.
Right. Yeah, absolutely genius. And I really admire and even somehow envy the writers who could bring this to us. I've tried writing for years and years and not even close to anything like this because I just don't have whatever that bone is, that creative bone that
It's like 1 in 10 million.
Yeah, I mean,
so it's all right.
I think that of course, I grew up in the 60s and the 70s, mainly in the 70s. I graduated high school in 1979, 1980. And what it reminds me of a little bit, and don't take me to task on this, but it reminds me a little bit, like I've said, Queen, the last video, but also Kansas's early stuff had a lot of that symphonic rock, because they used to carry a string section on board with them when they toured in the early years before they started to change and become more rock and roll.
Yes, right. I remember those
Yeah.
albums and those songs,
Yeah.
right. I'm
When
sorry,
No Return.
this keeps rocking and we might be making our viewers sick if it's...
Okay. Oh, I'm hitting it with my knees. So
Oh, well, how about you stop that?
I don't want to.
Well, you don't want to,
Why don't you
then.
make?
I don't know. I guess I'm going to leave you over it.
Oh, well.
But yeah, I enjoyed this. Now I
too.
can put it on my playlist. Now I can read more about it. But as a first-time watcher, those are basically my impressions.
Yes. And so here's what we want you to do. Comment down below. We usually have a question. I don't think we have a question today for you, but what I'd like to know is people that are my age, around my age, and late 50s, 60s, up into the 70s, if they remember some of those big symphonic rock bands from the 70s, and if they would agree with me, and that's perfectly fine if you don't agree with me. But I think that there's a little bit of a nod to that. At least that's what I hear from it. Is a lot of the real staccato stuff, a lot of the movement changes. Right, in this song, there's several different movements. Right, it's symphony, right?
Right.
And so, again, it reminds me of some of the earlier bands that I love to listen to. And
Well,
then, of
I
course, Dream
think
Theater. Go ahead.
Well, I think that Thomas was over here in the United States as an exchange student, and they introduced him to Metallica,
Yeah,
and he didn't want to go to the concert, and then after he went, he was hooked. But the other things he liked were very different, and he found a way in his genius mind to meld all these things.
Right.
So of course there's going to be influences, but I would be interested to know what influences of United States bands, just because we're ignorant, basically. But if there's any bands from the United States that
or from
you know,
England or from Western countries.
yeah, England, if you know that what some of the influences were of U.S. bands on Nightwish.
And honestly, if you're a musician and if you played and if you write or if you played in bands, let me know what your influences were. I'd love to know that, because my influence as a keyboard player was not Elton John. Everybody says Elton John and Billy Joel.
Billy
I
Joel,
didn't. I
yeah.
never liked those guys.
You like them?
I mean,
They're just
early Elton John. Never cared much for Billy Joel. I'll probably get castrated
That's
for that.
because something's wrong with you. How can you not like Billy Joel?
Well, I liked Rick Wakeman, right? I mean, I like more of that kind of thing where it wasn't just piano; it was organ and early synthesizers and stuff like that. And I mentioned Pink Floyd. That's what I liked. Not a Bruce Hornsby fan. That's
All
another
right,
one.
you're
Sorry.
yeah. I don't want to talk about Mr. Joel anymore.
Anyway, what happened?
Okay.
Oh, wait.
So
Okay.
anyway, listen, guys, thank you for coming back again. We are happy you're here, and kiss me on the head right here.
Okay.
And we're going to sign off.
Yes.
I'm going to say, I
Well,
heart you.
Hold on. We gotta go. If you like this video,
Like, subscribe, notify, share.
wow. Okay. There you go.
I love you, and be blessed,
Yes.
and
Don't hurt anyone.
don't do it.
We done.
Yeah, I'm done.